Good morning, world. Today is 207. This is Prophet E. Dex, and I don't know what to say. I am just really overwhelmed by the presence of God and by the transformation of my life. I could have never planned this. I could have never written it in my wildest imagination, in my wildest dreams, that God could use someone who was once so broken and morally depleted in life. My life was, you guys don't understand, if some people, if you're just seeing me now, you don't know who I am, but I was once someone who was addicted to food because I was in so much pain, and there were so many people that used to bully me in school and laugh at me and talk about me and publicly humiliate me in front of the class, and so I consumed food and more food, and I stole food, and food became my life, and I got bigger and bigger and bigger, and by the time I was 18 years old, I was over 430 pounds and just devastated. I was devastated with myself. I hated people, I hated myself, and life was hard for me. At 18 years old, I moved out of my parents' house, and within 48 hours, I became addicted to crack cocaine. I had a daughter on the way as well. So from the time that I was early on, my addiction started at 7 years old. At 12 years old, I slashed a boy in the back because I didn't want to get in trouble at home for something that I had done. And I got thrown into the juvenile justice system at 12 years old. I was supposed to be locked up till I was 25 because I had a class 1 felony in the state of California. I went into the juvenile system, went to a group home, and was gone for a couple years, but eventually I went home. And then by that time, I had already learned so much in the system and so much unwanted knowledge of the street life and how to be a thug and how to do wrong and create evil, and a lot of this stuff was learned in the system. And so when I got out, I often got myself in a lot of trouble, and so I couldn't wait to be 18. I couldn't wait to be 18 so I could be grown and spread my wings and be on my own, and I ran right into a wall and I hit rock bottom as soon as I left their home. And so from the time that I was 18, struggling with crack cocaine, knowing that I had a child on the way, it was just one season of turmoil after another. I had gotten married and moved from Georgia to New Mexico, and trying to escape the pain that I was feeling, hoping, okay, if I went from one place and I went to another, then I would be able to escape the addiction of the cocaine. But I left from Georgia and then I went to New Mexico, and what do you know, I moved right next door to the biggest cocaine dealer in New Mexico. He brought me onto his team. He started giving me all the cocaine that I wanted. It was a trick of the enemy. It's always been a trick of the enemy to distort my life, to try to silence my voice so I wouldn't be here today. I traveled and traveled. I was a nomad, just searching for something, for longing for something, trying everything to find out who I was, and nothing ever felt right, but I was always searching and longing, you know. By the time I was 22 years old, I was over 500 pounds. By that time, I had already been divorced and married again and annulled because the marriage only lasted for 3 weeks because the girl told me I was too fat and that she made a mistake in marrying me. Devastated once again, I said I would never get married. I would never put myself in a position like that to be hurt again. I decided to have gastric bypass surgery in May 2005, and I began to get on a gastric bypass support group for people who were searching for a community of people who could understand what they were going through. And so upon joining this community on obesityhelp.com is where I first found out and saw a woman who was going to be my future wife named Songbird, and I had no idea at the time. My parents lived in Michigan, and so I lived in Vegas. I came here for my brother's high school graduation, and when I came here to Michigan, one of the ladies on the board put a meet and greet together so I could come and meet other people in this area that had the surgery. And so at this meet and greet, that's the day that I met Songbird. She walked in the room, and the moment she walked in the room, everything changed. She laughed, and it was just like an angelic presence, and she came and sat right next to me. And from that moment, it was just like, oh my God, like, I know I said I wasn't going to ever be in love again. I know I said I wasn't ever going to get married again, but there's something different about this girl, and I knew right there that very night that I had to have her in my life. And so that was in June of 2005. I moved here in August of 2005. We got married in November of 2005. And August of 2006, I was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer. I'll never forget, I had lost so much weight. I had a new lease on life. I had gotten married to this beautiful girl. I had a new church home. I was involved in the ministry, and the music and the acting, and it was a new life. But then it was cancer. But my wife never missed a beat. She grabbed my hand and she said, "Baby, you're not alone. Together, we're going to beat this with the Lord." She says, "I will not be a widow, and you will live and proclaim the works of the Lord." God healed me of cancer. I had to go through the process. Yes, I started chemotherapy. I became so sick, I lost all my hair. My wife was the one there praying over me, feeding me when I couldn't feed myself, loving me, believing that God was going to heal me. And God healed me. One night before, or one early morning before chemotherapy, the Lord woke me up, and I heard his voice so clear, and he says, "From this day forward, no longer will you suffer from the ill effects of this disease. Millions of people will be supernaturally healed and touched by your testimony and by the laying on of your hands." Then he told me to go to Luke 7:21. Now at the time, I couldn't tell you if Luke 7:21 existed. So I go to the Bible and I go to Luke 7:21, and it says, "In that very hour, Jesus healed many of sickness, disease, and evil spirits, and gave sight to many who were blind." At that time, I started celebrating, praising God. Oh my goodness, babe, you gotta hear this. So I read the Revelation to her. She goes to the Bible, reads the scripture. Now we're celebrating, praising the Lord. Later on that day, we go to chemo. They hooked me up like normal. It did not take effect, folks. They hooked me up to my port. I was waiting to fall asleep like I normally would. This particular day, I didn't. We talked, we laughed, and when chemo was over, I took my IV to the bathroom, my IV pole to the bathroom like always, and my wife was right there by my side, just as always. They want you to urinate. Every single time before this, my urine came out red. Now, after the revelation, the urine came out clear. My wife was right there as a witness. I said, "Babe, look." She says, "It's clear." So that was the first major sign that God had put a filter in my body. So although they were putting poison in me, what God had done was greater than anything that could be put inside of me. And so he had put a filter that filtered all of the poison already out. And so we left chemo that day, and normally I couldn't even remember leaving chemo because I was just so drugged. But this particular day, we went to the grocery store, went home, I cooked, and I'm just like, "Babe, God, look, who had chemo today? Who got healed last night, baby? Look at this." And it was such a joy. And so 2 weeks after that, I had another PET scan. And when the PET scan came back, the doctor says, "Look, I can't explain it, but your liver and your spleen are back to normal size and functioning properly. There's no evidence of cancer anywhere in your chest. You had tumors under your arms. There's no tumors there now." He says, I can't explain it, but I want you to finish off the cycle of chemo. So folks, I need you to know something. I went to chemo for 2 more months. My hair began growing back. I didn't get sick anymore. My urine came out clear every single time. The nurses said, "We're giving you one of the strongest regimens. We don't understand how your hair is growing back and you're not even being sick, and you're walking in here with so much joy and happiness. We don't understand it." And I said, "Yeah, because it was supernatural." The Lord healed me. And God is not a respecter of person. He wants to heal you today as well. He really does. And that's why he told me to come out. He's the bridge of salvation. He's the bridge of your healing. The bridge of hope. The bridge of restoration. It's Jesus Christ. That's where it's at. I've been on this long journey. You know, I would love to think that, man, he healed me and I ran out and began to proclaim the works of the Lord. It didn't happen like that. No, I ran out right into the web of deceit, of the demonic darkness of the devil that had been awaiting me to steal my voice yet again, this time with pills. And then a few years after that, it was cocaine again, a relapse. And it was just one season after another of turmoil. And then eventually, in 2017, me hitting rock bottom and trying to kill myself because I had lost everything because of a crack cocaine addiction. And nobody knew because I was still in the church and praising the word, singing, praying over people, seeing God move. But I was addicted and nobody saw me except the crack dealer. He loved me and I loved him. It was the devil, and the devil has come to steal, kill, and destroy your thoughts, your emotions, your decisions, all of those things. It's time to turn away. It's time to say, I'm done living like this. I'm done living beneath the means of who I am and who I was created to be. I know there's more inside of me. There's got to be more inside of me. I know how it feels right now. I just need you to know that he's not a respecter of person. Yes, he healed me of cancer. Yes, he delivered me out of the crack house. Yes, he delivered me from taking 20 Vicodin a day. I was trying to kill myself. I was so hopeless, folks. He did not want me to be here. Now I have people all around the world calling me, asking me, how do you tap into the spirit of realm like that? How? How do you get into the channel of God that you're currently walking in? Total submission. It's a lifestyle of fasting. It's a lifestyle of complete prayer. I don't watch TV. I don't watch just things that are not edifying to my spirit. I'm only hearing from the Spirit of God. I'm a global leader of faith, coming to restore nations of people. That's who I am. It's always been his plan, and it's always been his purpose for the world. So folks, I am your leader. I need you to understand that I'm going to lead you the right way. And I'm going to lead you only by the Spirit of God. It's not about religion. It's not about tradition. It's about getting your spirit in line with his spirit so he can show you who you are for the world. This is Prophet E. Dex. I love you.